Russia is ramping up its retaliation against the U.S. over new sanctions. Russian President Vladimir Putin told the U.S. yesterday to slash its staff in Russia by 755 people. His order comes in response to expanded sanctions passed by Congress. Elizabeth Palmer is in Moscow with the simmering tensions that have Cold War echoes. Liz, good morning.
Good morning. The State Department has called this Russian action regrettable and uncalled for, but the Russians are saying they had no choice but to react to the tightening of sanctions against them.
All weekend, as the world waited, President Putin didn't say a word about Russia's retaliation against the U.S. He was busy with the pomp of Russia's Navy Day, a celebration and also a reminder that Russian muscle extends out over the oceans, too. Finally, on Sunday evening, he weighed in. The American diplomatic mission in Russia, he said, would have to lose 755 personnel. We waited for quite some time for something to change for the better, he said, referring to relations with Washington. But it became clear it wouldn't be soon. The State Department won't reveal how many people it employs, but the Russians say there are 1,200 in Moscow and 3 other cities. 2/3 of them will have to be cut, so the American diplomatic operation is trimmed to the same size as Russia's mission in the U.S. The U.S. will also lose access to a storage facility and its beautiful country house and leafy property on the outskirts of Moscow. This is the latest round in a tit-for-tat deterioration of relations between the Trump administration and the Kremlin, which began last Thursday when Congress voted to extend sanctions against Russia. And on Friday, the Russians hit back and then hinted Russia may not be done with retaliation.
We have a very rich toolbox at our disposal. It would be ridiculous on my part to start speculating on what may or may not happen.
There's no confirmation yet, but it does look as if the vast majority of those 755 people who are going to lose their jobs will be Russians, locally hired to work in support of American programs, everything from trade and commerce to agriculture. Charlie?
Elizabeth Palmer in Moscow. Thanks, Elizabeth.